Marie Curie. Maria Skłodowska, later known as Marie Curie, was born on November 7, 1867, in Warsaw, Poland. Both of Marie's parents were educators. Her father was a math and physics instructor, and her mother was headmistress of a private school for girls. Marie was the youngest of 5 children, and when she was only 10, she lost her mother. As a child, Marie took after her father, and became more and more interested in math and physics. She had a bright and curious mind, and excelled at school. Marie graduated from high school, with top grades, when she was 15. But she could not attend the University of Warsaw, as it was a male-only university at the time. She instead continued her education in Warsaw's Flying University, a set of underground, informal classes held in secret. Both Marie and her older sister Barania dreamed of going abroad to pursue further studies, but they lacked the financial resources to pay for more schooling. Together, they made a deal. They decided that Marie would work to help pay for Barania's medical studies, and when Barania was a doctor, she would help pay for Marie's education. For roughly 5 years, Marie worked as a tutor and a governess to help pay for her sister's medical studies in Paris. Marie used her spare time to study and read about physics, chemistry, and math. In 1891, Marie finally made her way to Paris and enrolled at the Sorbonne University. Despite hardships, she completed her master's degree in physics in 1893 and earned another degree in mathematics the following year. She thought seriously about returning to Poland and getting a job as a teacher there. But she met a French physicist, Pierre Curie, and they were married in 1895. In 1897, Marie and Pierre welcomed a daughter, Irene. Marie discovered radioactivity, and together with her husband Pierre, they discovered 2 radioactive elements, polonium and radium, in 1898. Marie and Pierre came up with the term radioactivity to describe elements that emitted strong rays. Marie named one of the elements, polonium, after her homeland Poland. She named the other, radium, because it gave off such strong rays. In 1903, Marie and Pierre, along with Professor Henri Becquerel, received the Nobel Prize in Physics for their work in radiation. Marie became the first woman to win a Nobel Prize. In 1904, she had another daughter named Eve. In 1906, Pierre died in a tragic street accident when he was hit by a horse-drawn carriage in Paris. Despite her tremendous grief, Marie took over his teaching post at the Sorbonne, becoming the institution's first female professor. In 1911, Marie won another Nobel Prize, but this time in chemistry, for the discovery of the elements, polonium and radium. Marie Curie was the first person to win 2 Nobel Prizes. She also remains the only person to be honored for achievements in 2 separate sciences. She became famous, and eventually doctors realized that they could use radiation to treat cancer. When World War I broke out, in 1914, Marie, with the help of her 17-year-old daughter, Irene, organized a fleet of vehicles, equipped with X-ray machines, for doctors on the front, to examine wounded soldiers. She also equipped and staffed 200 permanent radiology posts in hospitals. In the last 2 years of the war, more than 1 million soldiers were X-rayed, and many were saved. When France put out a call for gold to fund the war effort, Marie offered to donate her 2 gold medals to the French government. When the French National Bank refused to accept them, she used most of her Nobel Prize money to buy French war bonds. After the war, she worked hard to raise money for her Radium Institute. In 1921, Marie founded the Curie Institute in Paris, which operates as a major cancer research facility to this day. She traveled to the United States twice, in 1921 and in 1929, to raise funds to buy radium, and to establish a radium research institute in her hometown, Warsaw. By the late 1920s, she was experiencing health problems, likely because of long-term exposure to radioactive materials. On July 4, 1934, at the age of 66, Marie died of aplastic anemia. This was not only a result from her experiments, but also from her work with X-ray machines. It wasn't unusual for her to walk around her lab with radioactive test tubes in her pocket. Also, she stored radioactive material in drawer. The effects of radiation were not known at that time. Even her notebooks are still radioactive, to this day. Today they're stored in lead-lined boxes, at France's National Library in Paris, and anyone wishing to study them, must wear protective clothing. Marie was buried next to her husband, in Sceaux Cemetery, in southern Paris. In 1995, Marie and Pierre's remains were moved and interred in the Panthéon in Paris, the final resting place of the most honored and distinguished French citizens. 2 museums, one in Paris and one in Warsaw, are devoted to her, and several scientific institutions have been named in her honor. In 1935, her daughter, Irene, won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for her work with aluminum and radiation, and her other daughter, Eve, wrote a biographical book about her mother's life. Marie Curie is arguably the first woman to make such a significant contribution to science, and her legacy cannot be overstated.